think it's just a little bit slow today, or maybe it's me. It's a bit slow. One of us is. Okay, we're going to start seated today. If you've got blocks and you can grab them, then you could make use of them in this practice. I've got them. Oh, yeah. So one or two would be good. If you've only got one block, then just grab one as well. So we'll sit in Sukhasana, so easy pose. Again, if you want to sit in any other way, then you can definitely do that as well. And if you've got one of the slimmer blocks, you could sit on the block if you like. That makes it more comfortable. And just towards the front edge of it, if you just let your hips kind of get slightly tilted and help with the spine. And then hands-wise, you can place them on your legs, or you can just have them just crossed over in your palm, in the gap between your legs, if you like. And then we'll relax the shoulders. Try and lengthen your spine, but then if you'd like to, you can either close your eyes or maybe just lowering your gaze. And then from here, we'll just take a few moments, coming away from your morning. Bringing your attention inwards. So bring your awareness to your breath. Just as it moves in through your nose, just notice it. Just exhale through your nose as well. It starts to smooth out, just begin to notice the body, just how it feels here. So you might notice some areas of tension. Maybe you can release a little bit. So today's practice is a cooling summer practice. So trying to use our breath. Keep the mind nice and cool. Also trying to just be very careful in the posture so we're not building too much heat as we move into them. We obviously need to still warm the body and warm the muscles, but without kind of going overboard with it. So just listening and just taking care. So you can keep your eyes closed for the next bit if you like. We're going to release your hands. We're just going to start to move through your breath. So just when you're ready, if you have your hands just by your sides, then as you inhale, we're going to reach up with your arms. Just nice and easy, just let them float up. And on the exhale today, we're just going to bring them all the way back down again. So they come kind of outside your hips again. So we'll do that again. So inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. So the breath kind of has a dual purpose. It helps us to warm our body, but also to keep our mind nice and cool. You can either just stay with an inhale, exhale through your nose, or if you have a ujjayi breath, you can start to move into that as well. When you're ready, on your next inhale, we're just going to reach the arms up. We're going to keep the arms up this time. And then we're going to start to move down towards the right side. You can release your hands down, take your left hand on your knee and your right fingertips behind you. So just coming in for a gentle twist. Maybe you turn your head a little bit, but without forcing it. And then keeping your left hand where it is, we'll stretch the right arm across towards the left knee. If you can, take hold of it. So from here, start to press the knees away gently. Gently pull on the hands as well. Start to allow your back to round a little bit. And you drop your chin down towards your chest. Just starting to feel a stretch across the shoulders and through the upper back. We're going to keep this crossing our arms. We're going to release the hands though, and you just take your hands then and just place them up onto your shoulders. If you do want to come in for an eagle wrap and just start to move the hands round, wrapping that right arm around the left. Take your left forearm or your left hand. And maybe start to gently lift the elbows. See how it all feels. Without being too aggressive about it, just moving in gently. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to release your arms. As they come down, you might want to roll your shoulders a little bit. And then from there, we're going to change the cross of your legs. If you've got your legs crossed, just bringing that other foot in front. As you come back into that upright seated position, we'll inhale and reach back up with the arms. And then we'll start to move round towards the left side. As you come down, just taking that right hand on your knee, left fingertips behind. Again, take it to where you feel a little something, you don't have to feel too much. So once more, we'll keep the right hand where it is and move the left arm all the way across. Start to press with the knees, go with the hands, and round your back a little. So you're in charge of all of these. If you want to increase the intensity, then you just do. If you don't want to, you can release it a little. So again, we'll keep the cross of your arms. We'll start to release the hands and placing them on your shoulders if you like. Start to move in for eagle arms. Whatever feels best. And again, if you want to increase this, you just squeeze a little bit more. Lift your elbows a little higher. When you're ready, we'll slowly release. Again, as you release, just roll your shoulders a little. We're going to make our way to an all fours position now, so you can start to come forward. Just take your time. Get up your blocks handy. You probably don't need them in the first bit. If you want to use them when we're here, then you can. So we'll have the hands under the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. I'm going to move the arms here. So on an inhale, we're just going to start to stretch up with your right arm. So just going to open the right arm up. So rotating through your chest a little. Now on the exhale, we're going to come under. We're not going all the way. So just moving through it. Just hook the arm under. We'll do that again. So inhale, start to lift and open. So just using your own breath. And on the exhale, we'll bring it up. We'll do that once more. So again, take your time opening it up. And then as you come down this time, we'll start to lay down. So maybe onto your arm. Maybe you can take it onto your shoulder. You could grab a block here and place it under your forehead as well, or your head if you want to. And then maybe stretch your left fingertips and walk them away from you a little bit. Just see how it feels. When you're ready, we'll walk the left hand back in, and then when you're ready, start to push yourself back up again. So coming into that all fours position. Spread your hands to your knees and under your hips, and we'll try the other side. So as you inhale, start to open up through your left arm, so stretch it up and try and align it with the bottom arm if you can. And then on that exhale, start to move under. And do that again. So again, just start to move through it with your own breath, at your own speed. And then we'll do this one more time. So again, take your time. And then as you start to come under again, we'll start to lay down. So maybe onto your arm, if you can, onto your shoulder. Lower the head or grab a block. And maybe walk your right fingers all the way out in front of you. When you're ready, we'll walk that right hand in. Start to press yourself back up again. We're coming back up into that all fours position. And this time we're going to come into our heart melting pose, so Anahatanasana. When you're ready, if you can keep your hips and your knees in line, start to walk your hands forward a little bit. And then start to melt your heart just down towards the mat. Again, just take it to where it feels best to you. You might bend your arms here. If you can, keep your arms kind of straightish and the forearms lifted off the mat. But if you find that that's too much, then definitely lay them down. We'll take one more inhale. Start to move back up again. So just taking your time, just walking your hands back so they come underneath your shoulders once more. And then from here, we are going to move to downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the toes under. Start to press and lift the hips up. As you come into it again, take care to spread your hands and hit your feet. And then if you do want to start to move through it, maybe bend into one knee a little. And then when you're ready, maybe change sides. If you bend into one knee, maybe you press the heel down a little bit more on that other side. And coming back into the center, see if you can find just a little bit of stillness there. Spreading your hands, spreading your shoulders, lift the belly. Okay, we'll take one more inhale, kind of flow through this. So when you're ready, we'll lift the heels up. We're going to lower the knees all the way back down towards the mat. So just coming into an all fours position first. As you exhale, we'll walk the hands forward and start to press the chest back down towards the mat. On the inhale, come back up. So walk your hands underneath your shoulders. And then on the exhale, we'll tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward facing dog. So we'll do that again. So inhale, lift the heels, lower the knees down. Come to all fours. Exhale, walk the hands forward. Start to press the chest down towards the mat. Inhale, come back up. So walk the hands under your shoulders. And on the exhale, we'll tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward dog. You'll do that one more time. So again, lifting the heels, lowering the knees, into all fours. Move the hands forward, press the chest down. Inhale, come back up, so into all fours. And as you exhale, we'll tuck the toes and lift the hips, downward dog. And we are going to stay in this downward dog again this time. So again, even in this posture, try and feel a little bit of coolness. So using your breath, maybe even inhaling through your nose here. And if you do feel excess heat, just sigh it out your mouth. Just let it go. When you're ready, we're going to step forwards with your right leg. So you can step your right foot up towards the top of your mat. As you get there, we're going to lower the left knee, so just down towards your mat. We'll have the hands either side, and you could grab blocks here. So you could have your hands on blocks if that feels better. Or up on your fingertips, sometimes gives you a little bit of space. Try and draw the belly in and lift the chest a little bit so you're not kind of collapsed down. And from there, we're just going to move back and forward. So on an inhale, we're just going to slide back a little bit and try and straighten that front leg just a little bit. Again, use blocks if you like. As you exhale, just re-bend the legs, just bringing your knee over your ankle on that front leg. So we'll do that again. So start to move back on that inhale. Exhale, just re-bending through your leg. Now this time we're going to move back and hold back. So start to move back, holding back here with that leg straightish. And then if you wanted to, you could pick your toes up. You don't have to. You can lift them and flex your foot a little. Just see how that all feels. Keep your hips pretty level and your chest a little bit lifted as well. When you're ready, we're going to slowly release that right foot back down towards the ground. So moving forward as you do that, so rebending into that right leg. And from here, we're going to try and stretch a little bit through the side of your hip. So you're going to walk your right foot over, so it's kind of more in line with your left knee, kind of walking all the way over towards the left side. And then from there, if you can, start to move back again, so straightening through the leg a little. And you have to straighten it fully. You still can't feel that on the side, you still feel it in the back. Maybe if you pick your toes up and then move the toes, so the toes are even more over towards the left, so they kind of turn towards the left side of your mat. Just a little stretch through the IT band, the kind of side of your hip, and down the side of your leg. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. When you're ready, you've got your toes turned out, then turn them towards the center. Rebend your leg a little bit, and then start to walk your right foot all the way over towards the right side of your mat once more. So you've got one hand either side of your foot, you're not coming too far. Now from there, we're going to tuck the toes under on your back knee, so your left knee lifts. And then we're going to move into warrior one, just with the legs here, so you can keep the hands down. You could hop your back foot in a few steps. And then start to turn the toes and press the heel down towards the ground. So you're just coming into warrior one legs. And then when you're ready on an inhale, start to lift and rise up. So just lifting the chest, maybe looking up. And again, if you get there, you're not in the right position for your warrior one, then you definitely just change that. And try and align the shoulders and the hips forward, the front leg bend down, and the weight even between your feet. So hands either towards the center of your chest or reaching them up. Remember to relax your shoulders a little. And maybe your just stays up towards your hands. Maybe that doesn't suit your neck, so work where you can. So the coolness in our yoga postures, when we come into our standing postures, it's all about remaining calm. The position is important, so if we come in too deeply or too intensely, then we're never going to be able to keep cool in the posture. Just want to keep that focused, cool feeling in our breath. And if we keep it in our breath, then that helps to cool our mind down. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We're just going to open up now into a warrior two position. So start to just make your way around, just moving with your hands and adjusting your feet and your legs if you need to. Start to feel that openness in your hips, so stretching through your hips. Start to pull back a little bit on your front knee. Stretch your arms and maybe draw the shoulders back a little bit, so squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good, just breathing deeply. And again, keeping the same balance between your feet here as you had in that warrior one. So we're in the center of the posture, sinking down into the center rather than forwards. Finding your drishti, steadying your breath, cooling your mind. And from here, we're going to reverse it. So we're going to keep the legs the same. We'll move the left hand down and turn the right hand up, and then start to lift and open up through the front of your body, without changing your legs as we move into this reverse warrior. Again, just breathing deeply. Still being concerned with the legs because we've been in here for a little bit, but trying to remain cool as the body kind of heats up a little bit more. We're going to take one more inhale. Now what we're going to do here is to very gently straighten your front leg a little bit. So we come in for a reverse triangle without locking your knee out, still a softness in it. It should feel pretty good after that warrior legs. And then from here, we're going to move into triangle. So we're going to bring the body up, maybe hop the back foot in, and then stretching over your front leg. Release the hand down. So you can take it to a block here, or your leg. Try and reach straight up with your top hand. But if it doesn't feel right, always bend that top hand, taking it behind your back. And we're trying to imagine that we're between two sheets of glass here. So, or imagine there's a wall behind you and you're drawing back on your top shoulder and your top hip. Well done. So if you've got your blocks handy, you might need them next, but we're going to start to bend into your front leg a little bit. Just bend your front leg. As you do that, if you can, start to take your hands either towards your blocks or to the ground. So if you've got your blocks handy, grab them and just have your hands on top of your blocks. And then turn on the toes of your back leg. So you're coming into this lunge position. Now in this lunge position, you can just stay here, lifting the chest, drawing the belly in. You can even lower your back knee down towards the mat if you wanted to. If you want to, we're going to transition into standing splits here, just if you want to. So maybe move your hands forward a little bit. So if you've got your hands on blocks, just move the blocks slightly in front of you. Hop your back foot in a little bit, so maybe 1 or 2 steps. And then start to push through your front leg and gently just lift the back foot off the ground. You can always pop it back down again if it feels too much. So we can lift up and we can place it down. And again, just see how it feels as you come into it. So keep the leg lower, maybe lift it a bit higher, but without making your hips squint. So you're not lifting it super high. And again, just work where you can, breathing deeply. Good, very nice. Maybe work on straightening that front leg a little. Okay, the next bit is a little bit tricky, but if you want to, you could just bring your top leg, so your left leg, to meet the front leg, and you just fold into a forward fold here. If you want a little bit more, then that left foot is going to come to the outside of your right foot, and you're going to try and get the little baby toes to kiss here. Again, use blocks, so the blocks will just lift the floor up a little bit for you, and it will be a little bit easier. So your back leg is either crossed over your front leg, or you've just got your legs hip distance apart. It's really up to you. And we're just folding forwards. So often when we do quite a lot of work, which we did there, and then we come into a forward fold, it's kind of like a cool splash of water on your face. And it cools you down a little bit. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. We're going to start to move up. So draw your belly in. Start to roll and rise all the way up to the top. So as you come up to the top, you've either got one foot crossed over or you've got your feet separated. Doesn't really matter. As you inhale, we're going to reach back up with the arms. You're going to take hold of your right wrist with your left hand and then just very gently move yourself over towards that left side a little bit. So just a little side bend. Just breathing deeply. Cooling yourself down. Come back to the center. Release the hands, sit them down by your sides, and then separate your legs. So maybe at hip distance, have the palms just facing forward. Relax the shoulders down your spine. And come into Samastiti, so equal standing. Start to feel balance and just notice sensations in that side of your body. If you're feeling hot, take a deep inhale and exhale it through your mouth. And you can do that anytime. It's always open to you. Okay. We'll open the eyes and release the hands. We're going to come in and do tree pose here. So if you do want to just move to a wall, then please feel free to do that. And keep the feet separated to begin. And we're going to stand onto your right leg. And if you like, you could just lift your left heel up and just place that just onto your right ankle. So just see how that goes, and maybe bring your hands towards the center, finding your drishti, finding your breath. And you can stay with that. If you want a little bit more, then we'll move that foot so up towards the side of your calf, or maybe higher. So it's really up to you. You don't have to do anything, but just come into tree in your own way. Once you feel steady, maybe you reach your arms up. Again, it's really entirely up to you. You can reach them out or up or whatever you like. Breathing. Good. Focusing on your breath. Keeping your mind cool. When you're ready, we'll slowly bring the hands just back together again. And then slowly releasing your legs. So just bring the feet back together. And you can just take a moment there, just checking in, seeing how everything feels, particularly how your thoughts are, so your mind is. Okay. We'll try that on the other side. So maybe separate your feet first. So it's a little bit easier for our balance. We'll stand onto the left leg, spreading your toes. And maybe just lift the right heel up and just place it onto your ankle. Bring your hands to the center to find your drishti and your breath. Again, it's entirely up to you where you take this. So we're all standing on one leg, so it doesn't really matter, but move it up the leg if you like. Just coming into your expression of trees, or whatever that is. I don't know if anybody else saw the article on Sky News about the experiment they did about people's ability to stand on one leg for 10 seconds, and they had. And they said that around 40 to 50% of the population couldn't manage it, which is horrendous. We'll take one more inhale. We'll start to release and then bring your hands back towards the middle. You start to release your legs and your feet and your hands together. Close your eyes for a moment. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. We're going to come back up towards the top of your mat. So just take your time as you move up. As you come up, we'll find our mountain pose, so Tadasana. So you can have your feet together or apart, just spreading the toes, relax the shoulders. And just when you're ready, on your inhale, we're going to reach up with your arms. So maybe looking up towards your thumbs. And on the exhale, we'll fold forward. So maybe bending into your knees as you lower down. On the inhale here, start to lengthen forward. So move your hands straight in through your spine. And on the exhale, we'll fold back in again, but we'll take the hands down to the mat and step back into a plank position. As you come into plank, remember you can always lower your knees down towards the mat. So take them down if you need to. And staying in this plank just for a moment or two, just noticing whether you can stay cool in the more challenging posture. Okay, Okay, we are going to lower to the mat, so you might want to put your knees down first. Otherwise, move forwards a little bit, bend your elbows, and lower yourself down towards the ground. So when you get there, point the toes behind us. Keep your hands just underneath your shoulders. And then as you inhale, we'll start to draw the shoulders back. So loop them behind you. Lift your chest a little. And then on the exhale, just slowly release back down again. So do that again. So inhale, draw the shoulders back, lift the chest. Exhale to lower. You'll do that twice more, so take your time, just lifting up. You don't have to lift too high. Just moving and breathing. And then on the last one, we'll see if we can just lift up and hold up for a moment or two. So draw your shoulders back, lift your chest, and squeeze the arms towards your sides. Relax your feet and your legs. Keep your breath cool. And from here, we're just going to move back. So you could just keep pressing yourself up, bend your knees, and then push yourself back into a child's pose. So just take your time moving back into it. And maybe when you get here, you release your arms. You could cross them over and drop your head down, or take the arms by your sides, whatever feels most restful to you. When you're ready, we're going to start to just move back up to an all fours position. So just take your time, bring yourself forward. So as you come in, again, separate your knees, with your hands under your shoulders. This time as you inhale, just move forwards a little bit over your wrists. On the exhale, we'll move the hips back towards your hips, just sliding yourself back. You do that again, so inhale, moving forwards. And on the exhale, moving back. And you can stay with us, so just this moving forwards and back here. If you want a little bit more, the next time you move back, you can tuck your toes and lift your hips to downward facing dog. You do not have to. And we'll stay on the first one. And then on the inhale, we move forwards into a plank position. Again, just see how it feels for you. If you want to stay on the former, then do that. So pressing back and moving forwards. And done. Okay, we're going to do this one more time. We are going to end up in downward facing dog. So when you get there, you can just hold there and taking a breath, maybe in through your nose, and then just sigh out your mouth. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to look forward. This time we're going to step your left foot, so up towards the top of your mat. As you step your left foot forward, lower your right knee towards the mat. Again, flatten out your toes or tuck them, it's really up to you. Start to feel you can lift your chest a little bit. So grab blocks if you need to, have them underneath your hands, or come up onto your fingertips. So the belly is in, the knees over the ankle. So when you're ready, on an inhale, we'll start to move back again. So just gently gliding back, see how it feels in your leg. And then on the exhale, just slowly bending your knee over the ankle. Start to move through that, just at your own pace, just moving back and moving forwards. And on the next one, we'll just stay back. So you just hold back here, just lengthening through the leg. Maybe pull your toes up and flex your foot a little bit, but just see how it all feels. And keep your hips pretty level, so pulling forwards a little bit through your right hip. When you're ready, we'll slowly rebend that leg. So just moving it forwards once more. So this time we're going to move that foot, so all the way over towards the right knee if you can. So just walk it over, just a little tiny bit at a time. Then just see how it feels when you get there. And then if you can, start to move back a little bit. So just taking that leg back into that straighter position. If you do need a little bit more here to get the stretch on the outer hip, then maybe lifting your toes up on that left foot and maybe turning the left toes out towards the right even more. When you're ready, we'll bring the toes back in towards the centre. Rebend your knee and then start to walk your foot all the way over towards the right again. So just where it was before. So your hands are now either side of your front foot. So from here, we're going to move into warrior one once more. So we're going to tuck the toes on that right leg, lift the right knee up off the ground, hop your back foot in a little bit, and then start to turn through the toes and place the back heel onto the ground. So we're in this kind of funny warrior one, where we've got our hands down. So we're just going to lift up out of it. So take your time, draw your belly in, lift up. And again, when you get there, adjust if you need to. So it might be easier getting into it in that way, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be, you know, just where you want it to be. You still can adjust if you get there. So when you get there, again, start to take time to feel the balance in your feet. To release your shoulders a little bit. Start to use the muscles of your legs and your feet. So you're really pressing down through the outer edge of your back foot. So you get a really nice strong stretch through that calf muscle on the back leg. And the shoulders and the hips rotate round a little bit. And then finding your drishti. Start to cool your mind by having that even breath. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to start to open up. So into that warrior two position. So just take your time moving round. Again, adjusting your feet and your legs as you need to. You reach through your fingers and open up through your chest a little. Just see how it all feels. Trying to get that openness in our hips. Keeping your knee over your ankle and your front leg. Good. And finding your gaze. Breathing into it. Very nice. So it's especially challenging as we hold for a little bit longer. So we need to try and keep our mind as cool as we can. Keep our body cool so we're not kind of agitated and fidgeting. And we are going to keep the legs the same as we reverse it. So take your right hand down that back thigh. Turn your left hand up. And then start to lift through that arm. So again, maybe you look up towards your top hand, just if it feels right. Feel the challenge in your legs. See if you can cool your mind a little. Focusing on your breath. We'll release it a little bit just by straightening that front leg just a little. Again, try not to lock it out, just release the muscles. And then from here, bring your body more upright and we'll move into triangle. So lengthening over the front leg, release the hands to a block or to the leg and then reaching maybe straight up with your top hand or put behind your back. Whatever feels best without feeling that you have to go further down. So start to get a sense of spaciousness in the posture rather than closing it up by moving down towards the mat. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. So again, we're going to start to slowly bend your front knee. Just bend into it. So if you've got blocks, have them in front of you. And as you turn your body, see if you can place your hands onto the blocks or onto the floor. Turning onto the toes of your back leg, we come back into that lunge position. Again, your back knee could definitely move towards the ground. And you can definitely stay here. So if you don't want to move into standing splits, then you'll stay here. Otherwise, maybe walk your hands a little bit further forward. So, or move your blocks further forward. Start to hop your back foot in a little bit. And then start to press through your front knee and maybe lift your back foot off the ground. You can always place it down again. Lift it up if you can, just see how it feels. Where you can, so you need to come out of it. Then do a con straightening your back leg, straightening your front leg a little if you can. Breathing deeply. So once more again, to move out of this, you could just lower your back leg, so your right leg, to meet the left leg, and it just comes feet flat and you fold in. If you want to, you could take that little crossover, so your right foot is going to move to the outside of your left foot. The little toes touch if you can, and then we fold over. And again, you can use blocks here to any height, so you can lift yourself up a little bit more. It makes it easier for you, then just use them. Whatever feels best. Relax your head a little bit. And now you might feel that IT band. So the outer edge of your right leg, you should feel it tightly. Okay, we'll start to come up. So as you inhale, draw your belly in, start to roll and rise all the way up to the top, taking your time. Good. When you get there with the feet together or crossed over, inhale to reach your arms. And then we'll take your hands to your left wrist and your right hand and start to lean over towards the right side a little bit more. Stretching through the side of your body, breathing into it. Okay, when you're ready, slowly back towards the middle, releasing the hands down. We'll step the feet apart if you've not got them separated yet. Again, coming into Samasthiti, so spread your toes, feel equal through your legs. Shine the palms forward. Relax the shoulders down your spine. When you're ready, we'll open the eyes, we'll release everything. We'll come back up towards the top of your mat once more. So again, feet together or apart, coming into Tadasana. Relax your shoulders. Inhale, reach with your arms. Exhale to fold. Lengthen your spine to move the hands up. And on the exhale, folding back in, hands to the mat. Step back into that plank position. So as you come into plank once more, then firm up through your belly. Maybe you lower your knees, it's really up to you. But draw your chest in a little bit. So we round the back a little bit. Breathing deeply. Okay, we're going to lower down. So again, knees down first, or maybe just move forwards a little bit, bending the elbows, lower yourself to the mat. Point your toes behind you. Now this time we're going to come in for locust. So you can either just take your hands behind you, so flat onto the mat with your palms down. Maybe you reach your hands back towards your toes. Or if you'd like to, you could also interlink your fingers behind your low back. As you inhale, we'll draw the shoulders back, we'll lift the chest a little bit. Maybe you lift your hands away from your back. And then if you want to, bring the legs into it. Just squeeze your legs together, lift them up, and just breathe. So think more lengthening your spine rather than to get any higher. Try and remain cool. No, it's quite hard. Try. Use your breath. Okay, we'll take one more inhale. Slowly release everything back down. Release your arms and bring them underneath your head here and drop your head down. And just maybe take a deep breath in through your nose and again just sigh out your mouth. Okay, when you're ready, we're going to make our way back up just into that all fours position again. So just push to your hands. Walk your knees in underneath your hips. And just take a little cat-cow when you get there. So as you inhale, drop your belly in, lift the chest. And on the exhale, we'll just round in. Okay, we'll do that once more. And then you're ready, come back into the center of that. And from here, we'll walk the hands back. We're going to have a little seat, so you can just have a little seat on your mat. Now we're going to come into stag pose. So again, you're just going to work it as you can. So you might need a block, you could sit on a block, and you just modify it. So we're stag pose, we're going to take your right leg, and if you use your mat here, we want to have it so that the knee is in line with your ankle. Again, if that doesn't work for you, you just modify it. And you can use kind of the top edge of your mat, your short edge, just as a guide there. And then we want to have the back leg, the left leg, so that it is in a line from your knee to your ankle, and you can use the side edge of your mat to kind of align that, the long edge. So again, it might feel more comfortable just to sit upright in this, and you can just use your hands either side of you and just lift up. You can use a block, so underneath your left hip, if it's high, if you're kind of tilted over to one side, you can definitely put a slim block underneath. And then if you want to, you can fold forwards. You do not necessarily have to, so you just work where you can. So as you inhale, reach up, and on the exhale, just fold forward. So you can come onto your hands, you can come a little bit further down, and it's a little bit easier, rather than going down the front of your shin, to go just slightly out towards your knee, to your right knee, and then lay down there. Again, I'm not suggesting you lie down, but you could just have your hands here. It's just a matter of getting into a comfortable position so you can maintain it just for a few moments. So we are going to stay here for about 10 breaths. But so make sure it is comfortable. And if you need to adjust your legs or anything, then do that. I'm just giving you guidelines, and not everybody's body will fit into it. So you just have to fix it how you want to. So you could move this front leg, you could always move the foot closer towards your groin, and that might help you to then fold forward. So it's a little bit like when we come into pigeon, not everybody's leg is going to stay in that kind of horizontal plane. So just play about with that, see how it feels. Adjust your right leg and either stay upright. So definitely staying upright will still give us that stretch in our hips. You don't have to fold into it. When you get comfortable, just try and use your breath. Steady in your mind. You can cool in your body and your mind. We're going to take one more inhale. We're going to start to move up. So take your time and just lift yourself up. We are going to come in for a little twist here as well. So with your right leg in front of you, you're just going to take your hands kind of to the side of your right leg, and you might just move forwards there. So you might just fold down. If you want a little bit more, you can keep walking your hands round towards the right hip or further back, and then lay yourself down there. So it's kind of a little a reclined kind of twist, although you're twisting forwards. Good. Round towards the right hip, this way you're going. When you're ready, we'll slowly start to rise back up. So take your time, you come up. And when you come up, bring your legs out in front of you. So you can use your hands behind you here. And we're just going to gently move the hips and the legs side to side. Just a little windscreen wiper with your legs. Okay, we're going to try that on the other side. So it probably will feel quite different. So your left leg is going to come to the front, so aligned with the short edge of your mat. Again, if it doesn't quite fit, so your knee and your ankle is in line, just bring it in a little bit if that feels more comfortable for you. You can always do kind of the mermaid pose that we did last week, which was just having your legs bent in this kind of Z shape rather than trying to have them square in any way. But if you're aligning them, knee over ankle, and then having that right leg this time aligned to the long edge. So sitting upright is fine. Again, using a block maybe underneath your right hip will help to kind of even yourself up. If you can and you want to, you can fold forwards a little bit. So reaching up on the inhale, folding forwards on the exhale. So maybe just onto your hands, or maybe you can release yourself down. Again, just whatever foot suits you and feels right. When you're ready, slowly come back up. So again, we're going to move in for the twisted version of it. So if you want to just move your hands to the outside of your leg and you just get a little twist there, just using your hands. Or start to move round towards the left a little bit more. So you can just keep walking your hands round until you feel the twist. Maybe you can release down into the twist, but you don't have to. And just staying there. So just breathing deeply into it. See how that feels. Again, it shouldn't feel too much. If it feels too much, you need to just move out of it. Okay, when you're ready, slowly back, so towards the middle again, lift yourself up. Again, swing your legs round towards the front. Have your hands behind you. And then start to move your hips just a little bit from side to side. And from here, we are going to make our way down onto your back. So you can just take your time, lowering yourself. And when you get there, we'll have the feet flat onto the ground. So your knees are bent, feet are flat. We're going to come in for a little stretch, another stretch through your hips. So we'll keep the left foot down, lifting the right foot up. And if you flex your right foot, just place it onto your left thigh. So you might just stay here and just using your right hand, just gently press the right knee open. If you want a little bit more, you could lift your left foot off the ground and draw the knees in closer towards your chest. Again, just see how that feels for you. As we lower, we're going to keep the legs crossed. So if you just lower your left foot to the ground, you might want to spread your arms here. And we are just going to drop both legs just over towards the left side. If you can, you could place your left foot on the ground, your right foot on the ground, I should say, but you don't have to. When you're ready, we'll make our way back into the middle. So just uncrossing your legs and we'll change sides. So left foot lifts. Again, place it onto your right thigh. So you might just stay here, just use your left hand and press the left knee away. If you'd like to lift your right foot up, hands behind the back of your right thigh, just draw the knees in. So we'll release that. Again, keep your legs crossed. Right foot down, and then start to drop the legs over towards the right side. Maybe you can place your left foot down. When you're ready, slowly back towards the center. As you come in, we'll just draw the knees in. We take a little movement side to side. We're going to move into Shavasana next. So if you do want to pop anything on first, or jumper or socks, do that. Otherwise, just make your way in. So finding a comfortable position, we're just going to begin this cooling meditation with 5 deep breaths. Just start to take them in your own time. Just feeling the cool breath as it moves in through your nose. And you can either breathe it out through your nose or out through your mouth. Just allowing each breath as it moves in to relax you. So maybe you feel that the inhale is like an embrace. And the exhale, a release. Imagine you're sitting outside and the sun is shining strong overhead. Feel the sunshine begin to warm you up, one body part at a time, starting with your toes. Start to feel the heat of the sun moving up through your legs and your hips. Start to feel it warm your torso and your shoulders. And the warm sun move down through your arms and up through your neck. Warming your face and the crown of your head. Notice how it feels to be covered by the sun's warmth. And start to imagine a cool breeze cooling you down, one body part at a time. Starting at the crown of your head, You feel the breeze moving down through your face and your neck, feeling your shoulders and your arms. The breeze moves down through your torso and your hips, cooling your legs and your feet, all the way down to your toes. Notice how it feels to be cooled by the wind. Notice how your body feels, your mind, your breath. Cool, comfortable, relaxed. When you're ready, we'll take a deep inhale through your nose, and then we're just going to sigh it out your mouth. And we'll do that again, so just deeply inhale, and then let it go. And start to move a little bit, so just through your fingers and through your toes. Maybe taking your arms and stretching them over your head, stretching all the way down to your feet. When you're ready, we'll start to bring the arms back over. Maybe bending your knees here if you'd like. You can move a little bit from side to side. If you like to, you can roll over onto your side. Otherwise, we'll just start to make our way up. So just take your time. When you're ready, we'll just start to find a comfortable seat. So bring the palms together just in front of your heart. So just leaving a little gap to signify an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. Hope you enjoyed our cooling summer practice. Namaste. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll just stop that recording. You can unmute yourself if you like.